Ladies and gentlemen, Nigeria is undergoing fundamental resetting of the macroeconomic framework. The long overdue disruptive change, especially the removal of subsidy on PMS and reduction of distortions in the exchange rate, comes with certain hardships on all the residents of Nigeria. Governments at all levels in Nigeria have shown a keen commitment to ameliorate the consequent short-term effects of the policy change on livelihoods. The President of Nigeria, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR, has rolled out an agenda of palliatives as a response of the federal government. We support the federal government of Nigeria's agenda and expect to partner with the federal government to ensure that Anambra residents benefit maximally from the federal programs. Ours is a government on the foundation of the All Progressives Grand Alliance APGA. We are progressives, and the welfare of the ordinary Nigerians, especially the poor and vulnerable, remains our primary focus. Our motto is, quote, "Be our brothers and sisters keeper," end of quote. There is no better time to rise up to the full essence of our motto and our ideological stance on behalf of the ordinary persons than now. In our 2024 budget, we shall roll out a more comprehensive agenda to address the medium to longer term issues that will help to smoothen the path for all our residents and ensure that everyone shares in our broad agenda of building a livable and prosperous homeland. In the meantime, and over the remaining 4 months of the year, September to December 2023, as well as within the context of our 2023 budget framework, we are rolling out a few immediate and medium-term measures. Our response recognizes that the subsidy removal affects all citizens, especially millions of the unemployed and underemployed youths and vulnerable segments of the population. Our interim response, therefore, reflects the need to target the total population. And the palliatives that we roll out are as follows, these measures. The first section is what we might call palliatives. And a part of it is what we call salary augmentation and cash award. In the first instance, I'll need to remind you that in our foresighted response to the rising inflation, our government had increased the salaries of all public servants by 10% effective January 2023. And we have been paying the 10% adjustment since January 2023. We started off this even before the removal of subsidy. In addition to the salary increase, we will be paying every pensioner and every public servant in the employment of Anambra State government and the 21 local governments, and that's approximately 59,000 persons, for the period September to December 2023, a monthly flat non-taxable cash award of 12,000 naira each to augment them. This is to augment their monthly take home. We will continue, so someone who is earning minimum wage of 30,000 will now go home with 42,000. Isn't that for this period? We will continue to clear the backlog of gratuity and pension of our pensioners. Recall that we made 4-year pension and gratuity arrears when we assumed office, which we have been paying since assumption of office, and we will continue to do so. Anambra State government will be distributing rice to over 300, I will even dare to say we're targeting about 400,000 households in the coming weeks across the 326 wards in Anambra. Tax exemptions and reductions. The following highly vulnerable persons are exempt from all forms of taxation or levies. And they include the hawkers, the wheelbarrow and truck pushers, the vulcanizers, the artisans, the Okada drivers, petty traders with capital of less than 100,000 naira, etc. All these very poor people struggling to make a living every day, they are henceforth, until further notice, exempt from any form of tax or levies. The IGR payments of all transporters, keke, minibus, and the others, are hereby reduced by 20% with effect from September 1. Basic education, that is primary school to JSS 3, remain tuition-free for all public schools. We are reviewing the plethora of other levies, fees, and charges in these schools. Before schools resume in September 2023, which is next month, we shall make further announcements to sanitize the system and reduce the burden on our pupils and students and their sponsors. Henceforth, we will provide free antenatal services and free delivery services to pregnant mothers in state primary health centers and general hospitals. We will announce a more comprehensive medical package for our residents, especially the senior citizens and children, in our 2024 budget. We call on the landlords in Anambra to show greater empathy to their tenants at this challenging moment, and for them to consider easier options for rent payment. The idea of asking people to pay 2 years bulk in advance and so on and so forth. These are challenging times, and we can show greater empathy at this moment. If you even consider moratorium or this, but we'll leave this to the discretion of the landlords. It's just for people to understand that times are hard. On transport, we have approved the repair and renovation of all serviceable public servant staff buses currently under the office of the head of service of Anambra State to facilitate the movement of public servants. And still on the initiative to reduce the cost of transportation for the larger segment of Anambra, we will be applying to purchase many of the CNG fuel buses to be provided by the federal government for intra-state transportation. As you have heard the announcement by the federal government, is the plan to bring in a few thousands of these CNG buses for mass transportation, and they also announced the process of buying them off under the Anambra Trackers Transport Service Company Limited. We will also be applying to purchase many of those buses for intra-state transportation. The aim is to reduce the cost of transportation within Anambra. We will embark immediately on the repair of existing, as well as purchase some new water boats to ease transportation for our citizens in the riverine local government. In the medium term, we recently distributed a total of 1.1 million oil palm and coconut high-yielding seedlings to over 100,000 households. We plan to sustain the distribution of 1 million seedlings per annum over several years in continuation of our revolution to create a new palm coconut green industrial ecosystem that will guarantee at least 500,000 to 1 million households earning between 1.5 million to 3 million per annum, thereby lifting them out of poverty, create wealth, and earn foreign exchange for Nigeria. We also expect a new industrial complex to process the products, thereby creating more jobs for our youths. We are getting ready to deal with the heavy flooding expected to massively affect about 8 local governments in Anambra soon. We have made arrangements for resettlements of Anambra living in flood-prone areas. We will take every necessary measure to ameliorate the effects on the potential victims. In the next few weeks, We will be energizing our 1U2 Skills program by providing a mix of grant and soft loan schemes at a maximum interest rate of 9% per annum through a collaborative initiative between the Anambra State Small Business Agency, ASBA, and these partner development finance institutions. This will benefit about 4,500 of our youth who have recently completed the year-long intensive trainings and will enable them to become entrepreneurs and employers of labor. We are rolling out about 4 billion naira for this project. We are also completing the setup and funding of the world-based cooperative initiative for micro-enterprises. We are proposing a revolving loan scheme at near zero interest rate, and we are targeting over 100,000 micro businesses in this regard. Already we employed about 5,000, we employed 5,000 teachers and over 300 medical professionals within our first 9 months in office, plus thousands of youths in the security sector. We understand that the teeming unemployed youths remain a potent time bomb. We are committed to recruiting further thousands of youths as teachers for our schools and road street sweepers and engaging our youths in public works. We are rolling out a very ambitious program to build and modernize the primary health centers in all the 326 wards to let everyone have access to qualitative health care. This is in addition to renovation and modernization of hundreds of primary schools and secondary schools. We recently approved a huge program for urban and rural water schemes to ensure that especially the poor have access to clean potable water. We are constructing over 340 kilometers of roads across all the 21 local governments, and we are poised to continue. We have also started repairs of some Trunk A, federal and state roads to improve the lives of Anambra and reduce transportation costs in the state. As we enter the dry season, we will deliberately prioritize palliative works on many of our critical roads to lessen the burden on commuters and ensure more effective traffic management. We are working assiduously to improve the ease of doing business in Anambra, to attract private sector investment into the state for improved job creation from the Anambra. Security of life and property remain the #1 priority of government. We are stepping up measures to deal with those who inflict pain on our innocent citizens around some major places in the state. Food prices are rising, and food security has become a critical issue. We are determined to provide every assistance to the farmers for the next planting season in 2024 to boost food and animal production. Finally, we are determined to collaborate with the federal government to ensure that Anambra residents benefit maximally from the myriad of palliatives being rolled out by Mr. President, including provide an updated social register for Anambra residents to benefit from the planned federal government cash transfer. We apply to attract the conditional grant, which is meant for about 50,000 to at least 1,300 nano business owners in each of the 21 local governments. These are programs rolled out by the federal government, and we are keen to make sure that we are positioned to maximally benefit from all of this. The support that they plan for MSMEs and startups in Anambra who can apply for 500,000 to 1 million soft loan each at 9% payable over a period of 36 months. Collaboration with the organized private sector in the state to apply to obtain the 1 billion soft loan each at 9% per annum and repayable over 5 years, available to 75 manufacturers in the country. We'll try to get our own big conglomerates to also apply and secure such funding from the federal government. There is the 100 billion CBN commercial agricultural loan. We'll see how Anambra will also benefit from all of those. There is the gas conversion scheme and so on and so forth in terms of the federal government agenda. the Anambra in the interim, like I said, within the framework of our 2023 budget. This is a set of immediate responses that we roll out. In our 2024, we'll be more intentional in thinking through a more sustainable agenda going forward. Thank you very much.